Rising tensions in the Middle East have prompted the United States to make a bold military move by deploying several C-17 Globemaster III aircraft to strategic locations near Iran. This action, characterized as an emergency deployment, signals a heightened state of readiness in response to a rapidly evolving threat environment in the region. The decision underscores Washington's determination to protect its assets and allies against possible escalation. Far from being a routine transfer of equipment, this deployment marks a calculated and high-speed military maneuver intended to secure critical footholds. The C-17S are not only transporting troops and vehicles, they are carrying the message that the U.S. is fully prepared for rapid escalation if required. With air crews on alert and flight plans coordinated down to the minute, this is a demonstration of precision power projection. 3. According to officials from the Department of Defense, the mission involves multiple C-17 units taking off from forward operating bases in Europe and the Persian Gulf. While the exact landing zones remain classified, insiders confirm the aircraft are heading toward areas within rapid response distance from Iranian borders, a clear indicator of tactical positioning under the fog of uncertainty. These aircraft are loaded with elite military personnel, high-capacity combat gear, and armored vehicles designed for swift deployment in potential combat zones. Everything from command posts to mobile missile defense units are said to be on board, highlighting the breadth and complexity of the operation underway. Defense analysts have begun speculating that this move is more than a deterrent, it may be a preparatory step for a broad-spectrum response. With regional militias gaining momentum and suspected threats to American infrastructure, Washington appears to be bracing for a wide range of scenarios, from embassy evacuations to full-scale defensive operations. The C-17 Globemaster III is a logistical marvel. Designed for versatility, it can land on makeshift runways and unpaved terrain, carry over 77 tons of cargo, and conduct long-range missions with minimal support. Its deployment in this context serves not only a tactical role, but also a strategic message to both allies and adversaries. The rapid deployment of these aircraft reflects the urgency of the situation. It is not just about moving troops or supplies, it is about shaping the battle space in real time. With threats looming across multiple domains air, land, sea, and cyber, C-17 Fleet enables the Pentagon to respond dynamically and decisively. Military insiders revealed that on board the C-17S are rapid deployment forces from the U.S. Army and Marine Corps, including reconnaissance elements, aviation support teams, and special logistics units capable of operating independently in high-threat environments. Satellite imagery and leaked photos from airbases show intense activity, long lines of cargo vehicles, aircraft refueling under the cover of darkness, and troops assembling under strict operational security. It is a scene of controlled urgency that evokes memories of other major pre-conflict mobilizations. One particular C-17 was spotted conducting a nighttime landing at a remote outpost near the Arabian Sea in action that underscores the aircraft's capability to operate under extreme and uncertain conditions well beyond the reach of commercial aviation infrastructure. Iran, as expected, has not remained silent. While no official statement has been issued from Tehran, state-run media outlets have labeled the U.S. deployment as an act of military provocation, warning that such moves will not go unanswered. The rhetoric is escalating alongside troop movements. U.S. officials, meanwhile, maintain that the deployment is defensive in nature. According to Pentagon sources, the primary goal is to shield American personnel and interests from potential hostilities, particularly in light of recent attacks targeting Allied infrastructure across the region. U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, confirmed the operation falls under its Forward Presence Initiative, designed to ensure rapid deterrence and support Allied forces. This includes enhancing surveillance, reinforcing key military installations, and facilitating operational agility. Intelligence reports point to increased Iranian naval and air activity around the Strait of Hormuz, critical choke point for global oil shipments and along various borders shared with Iraq and Syria, where militias reportedly operate with direct or indirect Iranian backing. By deploying C-17 aircraft, the U.S. also gains the logistical flexibility to rotate combat units quickly, deliver advanced radar systems, and possibly position surface-to-air missile batteries in locations previously deemed logistically challenging. All of this comes as fears mount over a direct confrontation between American forces and Iranian-backed militias, particularly in Iraq, where recent drone strikes and rocket attacks have targeted U.S. military outposts with growing frequency and precision. The President of the United States has been thoroughly briefed on the situation and is said to be receiving regular updates from military commanders. Sources close to the White House say contingency plans are being refined by the hour, including diplomatic options and cyber response protocols. In the surrounding waters, Aircraft carriers and destroyers stand ready. F-35S and F/A-18S on board have reportedly been placed on heightened alert, hinting at synchronized cross-domain readiness involving air, sea, and ground elements of U.S. military power. Military analysts suggest this level of coordination is rare outside of active conflict scenarios, suggesting either an imminent threat or an intentional show of force meant to pressure Iranian leadership into strategic recalculation. Tehran's response remains measured but watchful, as Iranian military units conduct readiness drills and defensive posturing. The situation resembles a chessboard in motion, every move watched, every countermove calculated. The deployment further illustrates America's unmatched ability to mobilize military assets on a global scale with breathtaking speed. The arrival of a C-17 fleet in a region signals that Washington is not just watching it, is positioning itself for every outcome. Often underestimated, the C-17 is more than a flying warehouse. It is a battlefield enabler, capable of transforming a barren airstrip into a launch pad for strategic influence and deterrence. In scenarios like this, it becomes the backbone of rapid U.S. intervention capabilities. With a combat range of over 2,400 nautical miles and in-flight refueling capability, the C-17S can support extended missions across continents, from humanitarian evacuations to full-spectrum military logistics under fire. Defense experts have urged caution in communication. Any misinterpretation of movements on either side could spiral into unintended escalation. That's why behind-the-scenes diplomatic efforts are working just as hard as those on the flight deck. On the ground, civilian populations across key Gulf nations are growing nervous. Supermarkets in Bahrain and Kuwait have reported small surges in emergency supply purchases, and embassies are quietly reviewing evacuation plans. U.S. allies such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates have increased their military alert levels. Joint readiness drills have been reactivated, and intelligence sharing has intensified across multiple allied command centers. The deployment of C-17S near Iran reaffirms that the U.S. will go to great lengths to defend global trade routes, particularly those vital to the oil economy. The message is clear: American strategic interests are not negotiable. While no official combat orders have been issued, the sheer scale of mobilization leaves little doubt that the Pentagon is prepared to transition from deterrence to engagement if circumstances demand. Global attention is now fixated on every move, every launch, landing, and statement. Markets are jittery, governments are watching, and military analysts are parsing every radar blip for signs of the next phase.